First half, I thought we were good, and probably in that first half period where I think we certainly restricted them to probably one, opportunity in the 45 minutes. It's trying to get them balances right. We frustrated them. I thought we were decent on the ball, had good possession of the ball, but they're the moments where you've got to get your goals, and you've got to turn the tides a little bit. And I think probably at half time, 0-0 was probably the correct score. They hadn't threatened a lot, we hadn't. They had a spell in the second half where they upped it a little bit, and I think that stemmed from us having a period where we gave the ball away, which we probably didn't do in that first half period. And then, unless you are breaking that deadlock ourselves, we're always putting ourselves under pressure, and you're waiting for that one moment, either that one quality moment from them or that one mistake from us, which it was, and they capitalised on it. And at the moment, we haven't been good enough to get the goals to take that type of lead without making the mistakes.
When Stoke stepped it up, as you say, for that sort of 10 minutes before it led to the goal, it kind of had a feeling of inevitability about it, looking on that there was going to be a goal at the end, because they just seemed to sweep you away for 10-15 minutes. Is that fair?
Well, no, but I think it started with us having a poorer period in possession. The only way you can stop a team having a little bit of momentum is have enough of that ball yourself. And if I looked in that first half period, that's the reason why we never allowed them into a good game, because we had good periods in possession ourselves. But what you have to be able to do is there would have been numerous occasions, even last season, where we wasn't at our best, but you don't make them mistakes that are going to cost you goals, and you don't go through a bad enough period where that opposition have that real bit of momentum, and you hope in that period that they don't score. I don't think it was inevitability, because up until then they hadn't really threatened the goal, even though they upped their game. But it's one, they will look at it as a quality moment, we will look at it as a mistake.
What about response after the goal? I mean, obviously you tried to freshen it up with Grabban and Johnson, and towards the end you had flashes of moments, but really didn't test the goalkeeper.
No, but that's where we are at the moment. You are right, we had flashes of moments. I don't think there can be a criticism that we didn't try to change things, to try to change a momentum, to go a little bit more offensive. But then it's about what we can show on the pitch, and at that stage, we either had to show that little bit more intensity or that one moment, and the same way that they had their moment when they got the goal, we needed that moment. Probably in that period, the only time was perhaps Grabban's opportunity, perhaps, and we need their moments, and at the moment their moments are not going for us.
How do you get those moments, Chris? How do you get yourself in games?
You can only do that by continually working hard. There are positives, okay, but at this moment it's very difficult to look at them, because the results don't lie, and it becomes a real tough period. We've been in every game, but this is a demanding, unforgiving division against a lot of good teams. I mean, what we have done, and all due respects to Coventry, but we've played three other teams that what I regard as very, very good, championship teams. Two that I think in Stoke and Bournemouth that will be right up there at the end, and a Blackburn team that are a well-drilled championship side that are used to being, in that top 10, and we've found it difficult.
Chris, you've experienced it. You at the City Ground in midweek. You saw the anger of the fans again at the end. I mean, it was pretty horrible for you. How do you take that kind of abuse when you get it?
You take it because you have to. Would I prefer not to? Yes, I would prefer not to. But these are the emotions of the game. These are the ups and downs of the games. We brought a wonderful support today that were very, very vocal and got behind the team. and when things don't go the way, then unfortunately as manager I have to take the brunt of that one. All we can do is look to work as hard as we can to get the numbers in that we need to get in. You know, it's been a really tough start, a really tough summer as regards bringing in the players. You know, there's been a big turnaround. You know, if I'm looking at the way that the club's going and recruitment's going, you know, we are a lot younger as regards the squad that we've got. You know, we lost 11 players at the end of last season. You know, and we need to bring in numbers. This is an unforgiving division, and it's not just about an 11 on the pitch. It's about having a squad that can cope with the vigours of this division, and at this moment we don't have it.
If you have a good few days, well, you need a good few days in the transfer market, don't you? If you do have those good few days, are you convinced that you can turn this around for Forest?
Always you work as hard as you can, and every club will go through difficult periods. You know, what we have to also realise is that we are not making any excuses. We've lost the first 4 games of the season. In all 4 games we've lost by 1 goal. All 4 games, the margins, if we were better, could have gone the other way, or we could have got results. And I'm not saying we've been good enough to win them games, but certainly in some of them games we've been decent enough to not lose them. So these are the margins. These are the margins that have to change. What will certainly help will be new players coming in and strengthening this squad and strengthening this team. That will certainly help. We certainly need that. And we've been close in games, and we have to make sure that we turn their margins, okay, into our favour. And we do that by what we've got here, showing more what we've got here, but also the help of new players coming in.
I'm not telling you anything new. You know it's a results business. You know full well what happened last year when the manager lost the first 4 games of the season. Do you fear the same might happen, or
no? It's not something I think about. What I think about is that we're going through a transitional period at the club. We've had a pre-season where we've had most of the under-23s training with the squad. We've had injuries, so we are going through that difficult period, and it's a transitional bit. And this group of team, however we recruit, it will be a younger side, and it will be a younger development side, and you know, that's the changes. And around that changes, what I have to try and do is get results. And at the minute, this is the only thing that I'm thinking about. I understand the disappointment of the crowd, and you know, one thing I can tell you is that I'm as disappointed and as angry as any single one of them. This is my responsibility. My responsibility is to get results for this club and for these supporters. And with the help of recruitments, then we'll do the best that we can.